The concept of dead hand, a system known officially as perimeter, highlights the unnerving intersection of technological advancement and geopolitical tension. Originally conceived during the Cold War, a period marked by unprecedented paranoia and rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Dead Hand is an automated nuclear defense system designed to launch a massive retaliatory strike if a nuclear attack is detected. This system is a stark reminder of the dangerous lengths to which nations may go to protect themselves, even to the point of setting up mechanisms that function without human intervention. To understand the development of Dead Hand, it's essential to consider the broader context of the Cold War. The arms race between the United States and the Soviet Union pushed both superpowers to accumulate nuclear arsenals that could annihilate the world several times over. Known as mutually assured destruction, MAD, this strategy was meant to deter either side from initiating a nuclear attack. The mere possibility of a nuclear exchange kept both countries in a state of near constant tension. In the 1980s, as Soviet leadership grew increasingly concerned about a potential decapitation strike, an attack that would eliminate the nation's leadership and disrupt command structures, the idea of Dead Hand began to take shape. The objective was to create a system that could launch a retaliatory strike even if the nation's leaders were killed or incapacitated. This meant designing a fully automated nuclear response system, a terrifying concept that was as much psychological warfare as it was military strategy. Dead Hand's design is both ingenious and unsettling. In essence, it is a network of sensors and communication systems capable of detecting the conditions of a nuclear strike. These sensors, which monitor factors like radiation levels, air pressure, and seismic activity, provide real-time data on environmental changes that could indicate a nuclear explosion. If these parameters align with a nuclear attack, Dead Hand can initiate a retaliatory strike without requiring human approval. The system operates through multiple communication channels, including satellite, radio, and landlines. In the event of activation, a specialized command rocket equipped with a radio warhead would soar over Russian territory, transmitting launch commands to all nuclear-equipped assets across the nation. These assets include missiles and underground silos, mobile launch platforms, and submarines, effectively ensuring that Russia's full nuclear capability is unleashed. Unlike conventional defense systems that rely on human operators for confirmation, Dead Hand is built to function in scenarios where human intervention might be impossible. To avoid accidental triggering, the system isn't always active. Rather, it can be switched on during heightened periods of international tension. Once activated, it stands ready to respond, leaving minimal room for delay or interference. Dead Hand is, in many ways, the ultimate expression of mutually assured destruction. It removes human hesitation and decision-making from the equation, creating a scenario in which any nuclear attack on Russia is met with inevitable and overwhelming retaliation. The message is clear. If Russia is struck, its nuclear arsenal will respond automatically, regardless of the survival of its leaders or military officials. While MAD was a foundational principle of Cold War deterrence, Dead Hand elevates it to an extreme level, effectively guaranteeing annihilation for both the aggressor and the defender. This level of deterrence raises ethical and strategic questions about the wisdom of placing such significant power in an automated system. By eliminating the human element, Dead Hand reduces the chance of restraint in a crisis situation, which makes it both an effective deterrent and a potentially catastrophic risk. Russia possesses one of the world's largest nuclear arsenals, with over 1,600 deployed tactical nuclear weapons and an additional 2,400 strategic nuclear weapons tied to intercontinental ballistic missiles. All of these assets are integrated into the Dead Hand system, underscoring its potential for devastation. Since its inception in the 1980s, Dead Hand has likely undergone numerous updates and enhancements. Recent reports suggest it may now be capable of launching Russia's hypersonic missiles, which can travel at speeds that make interception almost impossible. This added layer of capability makes Dead Hand not only a relic of the Cold War, but also a potent instrument in the modern age of high-speed, high-stakes warfare. Hypersonic weapons are especially concerning because they complicate the decision-making process for potential adversaries. With response times dramatically reduced, the likelihood of miscommunication or misinterpretation escalates, as countries may have mere minutes to decide whether to respond to an incoming strike. In this context, dead hand's automated nature is both a chilling safeguard and a high-stakes gamble. Opinions on dead hand's value as a security measure are mixed. Some view it as a powerful deterrent that stabilizes the balance of power by making a first-strike nuclear attack unthinkable. By ensuring that any aggressor would face annihilation, dead hand could theoretically prevent nuclear conflict. In this view, dead hand is an essential tool that discourages preemptive strikes, fostering a tense but stable peace between nuclear-armed nations. Critics, however, argue that dead hand is an outdated and dangerous system, a relic of Cold War paranoia that could accidentally trigger a nuclear apocalypse. Automated systems are inherently susceptible to malfunction or hacking, raising the terrifying possibility of unintended nuclear launches. In a world where cybersecurity threats are becoming more sophisticated, a system like dead hand, no matter how well guarded, poses unique risks. If a cyber attack or technical glitch were to falsely indicate a nuclear strike, the consequences could be catastrophic. Additionally, there is the risk of misinterpretation. In a high-stress, high-stakes situation, dead hand's automated response could easily escalate a conflict rather than prevent it. For instance, if a conventional military exercise were misinterpreted by dead hand sensors as a nuclear strike, the system could trigger an unnecessary and devastating retaliation. Even if human operators are monitoring the system, the speed and intensity of nuclear warfare may make it impossible to stop once initiated. Dead hand's continued existence, though not officially confirmed by the Russian government, suggests that its legacy endures despite the collapse of the Soviet Union. In 2011, General Sergei Karakayev, commander of Russia's strategic missile forces, publicly acknowledged dead hand's existence, indicating that it remains part of Russia's nuclear strategy. This revelation highlights the enduring influence of Cold War thinking on contemporary security policies, even as the world has shifted away from bipolar superpower rivalry. The persistence of dead hand reflects a global reality in which nuclear arms remain central to national defense strategies. Despite widespread calls for nuclear disarmament, countries like Russia and the United States continue to modernize and expand their arsenals. In a geopolitical landscape marked by rising tensions and uncertainty, dead hand serves as a chilling reminder of the lingering risks associated with nuclear deterrence. The question of whether systems like dead hand should exist in today's world is complex. On one hand, automated defense systems may seem outdated in an era where international cooperation, nuclear non-proliferation treaties, and diplomatic engagement are emphasized. On the other hand, the resurgence of great power rivalry, exemplified by tensions between the United States, Russia, and China, suggests that the deterrent value of systems like dead hand may still be relevant. Supporters argue that the existence of dead hand contributes to stability by making the cost of nuclear aggression prohibitively high. In an age where hypersonic weapons and cyber capabilities are redefining military strategy, having a robust deterrent could theoretically prevent escalation. In this view, dead hand is a grim but necessary tool for maintaining peace. Yet the inherent risk of automation in such a high-stakes context cannot be ignored. Modern military doctrines increasingly emphasize flexibility, precision, and human decision-making, contrasting sharply with dead hand's rigid and unyielding design. As new technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning become integrated into defense systems, it is possible that dead hand could be replaced by a more adaptive and controllable system, one that preserves deterrence without sacrificing human oversight. The dead hand system is an extraordinary example of Cold War paranoia crystallized into a technological artifact. It is a potent symbol of the lengths to which nations are willing to go to protect their security, even if it means placing humanity's fate in the hands of an automated system. The ethical, strategic, and existential questions it raises are as relevant today as they were in the 1980s. Ultimately, dead hand is both a sobering reminder of the dangers of nuclear warfare and a testament to the complexities of deterrent strategy. While some argue that its existence promotes stability, others view it as an unacceptable risk. In a world that continues to grapple with the legacy of the Cold War, dead hand stands as a stark warning of what happens when technological prowess meets unyielding fear. Whether it has a place in the future of global security remains uncertain, but its implications will continue to resonate as long as nuclear weapons exist.